What's going on, everyone? The Lakers lost again last night to the Minnesota Timberwolves, falling to 0-5. On the other hand, Buddy Hield and Myles Turner, they ended up combining for 52 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 assists, as well as shooting Myles Turner 3 of 4 from 3, and Buddy Hield 5 of 9 from 3. And of course, many people are calling for the Lakers to pull the trigger on a Buddy Hield and Myles Turner trade, right? We know that that's the only deal that is on the table. That's the deal that the Lakers were going to do right before media day, but decided that they wanted to wait. They wanted to ride it out. And so that deal is very likely still on the table because the Indiana Pacers want to get something for Myles Turner. They want to unload Buddy Hield's contract, and they want to tank. And right now they are 2-3, where the Lakers are on the opposite side of the spectrum at 0-5. And now Russell Westbrook has shown the willingness to come off the bench. He even said earlier today that he's willing to do and sacrifice whatever it will take for this team. And he's really showing that commitment and that promise. I mean, look, however you feel about Russell Westbrook, you have to give him some credit in that regards, in that aspect, that he's willing to take on and play defense. And on top of playing defense, he's willing to take the sacrifice to come off the bench. So he's at least showing a willingness. But the fit still doesn't work. He needs to be traded. The Lakers need to do something to kind of shake things up. My concern with the Buddy Hield and Myles Turner thing is, as great as they look right now, and as great as I think the overall roster with the Lakers would be, I don't think that they're enough to really put us over the top and make us a contender. Now, I don't believe we'd be 0-5 with Buddy Hield and Myles Turner right now, although we wouldn't have had Myles Turner for like a week, but I think we would have at least won probably 2 or 3 games if we had Buddy Hield and Myles Turner. But Buddy Hield isn't going to solve all of our shooting woes, even though he's shooting like 43% from 3 so far this season. Even if he shoots that the entire season, yes, it'll help get our percentage up, but unless other guys are knocking down shots, we're in trouble. Now, you could make the argument that, if you had a guy like Buddy Hield and the rest of the Lakers saw a guy like Buddy Hield knocking down 3-point shots, that would kind of open the basket for others, right? Like we saw Troy Brown yesterday go 4 of 6 from 3, and like that was very good. That was very promising. But outside of him, nobody else really hit shots. But if you had him and you had Buddy Hield and say a Patrick Beverley sees a couple guys knocking down shots, and now he's like, all right, the basket's opened up, and he starts knocking down shots, it could be this sort of trickle effect, right? And now all of a sudden everyone starts knocking down shots. There's always the concern, though, that we see time and time again, where you get a guy like Buddy Hield who shoots 40%, he goes to the Lakers, and he shoots like, 10% less than he usually shoots, and he goes and shoots like 33%, 34%. Got to keep in mind, Buddy Hield has never been on a team like the Lakers, a big, pristine organization that the fans will just butcher you if you're not performing the way that they want you to. Also, you got to keep in mind that Buddy Hield has never been in the playoffs, ever. So who knows how he will show up once we get to the playoffs. And we saw what happened with Danny Green and how everyone just like booed him and just were calling for his head on a platter, even when we won a championship that year. So that's a thing of concern that you got to keep in mind too. Myles Turner, although he's great, he doesn't really solve our rebounding woes. He's not an elite rebounder, right? I mean, he averages 7 rebounds a game. And a lot of people say, well, he was with Sabonis. Well, he's not with Sabonis anymore, and he's still only averaging about 7 rebounds a game. He did have 10 last night, but he's basically a 7 rebound guy. Also his scoring input and stuff, right? A lot of people said the only reason he's putting up 12 a game is because he was playing next to a guy like Sabonis. Well, Myles Turner and Sabonis didn't work. He's going to be playing next to Anthony Davis. Who's to say him and Anthony Davis work? And Anthony Davis is going to be the number 1 guy. So Myles Turner right now is like the number 2, 3 guy. He's going to like the number 3, 4, 5 guy on this team. Is that something he's going to be okay with? Is that something that he's going to be able to adjust to and change? Because here's the thing, again, if this doesn't work, we're screwed. And I think we need more than 2 players. I think we need an entire sort of roster rehaul. Like if we could work out a deal for Buddy Hield and Myles Turner and, incorporate like maybe the Spurs or something and get a couple other pieces, right? Especially Spurs with the trade exception. Maybe if we could get a trade exception, maybe Indiana would prefer like the trade exception over, say, another draft pick or something, because now they can use that to go get pieces and stuff that they need rather than just eating Westbrook's salary. That's something that could be worked out maybe. Maybe work out a 3-team deal and get like a Josh Richardson and a Doug McDermott, get a Buddy Hield, Myles Turner. If you could do something like that, that would be great, right? Like, I'm not against, like, I wouldn't be upset if, say, Monday morning we wake up and the Lakers made the trade for Buddy Hield and Myles Turner. Like, I'm not going to be like, man, why did they do that? I'll have my concerns. I'll have my reservations, definitely. But I mean, if it works, then great. Like if they're really good and everything's working and everything's clicking and they come in, and which it could. You could have an entire sort of culture shock, right? You get all these new players, all these new assets. Like, it comes in, they're wet behind the ears, they're excited. They didn't deal with that dark cloud that's been just kind of plaguing the Lakers the last 2 seasons. Like, they're fresh, they're excited. That could change a lot of things, right? Kind of just elevate the atmosphere, especially if they win the first game. That Buddy Hield and Myles Turner in a Laker jersey, all of a sudden it's like, yes, we can get a win. The fandom's happy. The Lakers are happy. Everybody, the world is right again. And, that could very well be the case. That could be what ends up happening, come Monday. Look, I actually think if the Lakers don't beat the Nuggets on Sunday, I wouldn't be shocked if Monday or Tuesday we get news of a trade. Because if they lose again to Denver, now they're 0-6. Anthony Davis is hobbled already. LeBron doesn't really seem to be playing like LeBron James. He's not playing bad, but he's not playing like the LeBron James we know. And then, everybody else is just a mess right now. If we can't turn it around and we don't get that win on Sunday, I think we wake up Monday morning to a trade. I again, could be completely wrong. This is just a guess of mine, but I think Rob is trying to be patient, but at some point you can't be patient anymore. And so I think if we don't win, if we don't beat the Nuggets, I think Rob is going to have to make a trade. And I think next week we end up getting a trade. Whether it's just this deal or it's a 3-team deal, we know the Lakers have been trying to work out 3-team deals to get multiple pieces, because I imagine Rob is looking at this roster the same way I am and going, hey, we need more than just 2 guys. Because the problem right now, we have too many guys that we're asking to play above their sort of level of play, right? Like Walker, he's averaging 15 a game this season or whatever. He's had 2 straight, he didn't look good yesterday, but beyond that, he's had 2, outside of yesterday's game, he had 2 straight games where he put up 15, right? He's great. But he's not your 3rd best player that you're asking him to be. He's your 5th or 6th best player. So now, if we get a starting lineup where guys are actually more, or a Myles Turner, Buddy Hield, and if we got a Josh Richardson, right? Now you got those 3 guys that you could put around Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Now you have a legit starting 5. Well, now guys like Walker and Beverly and Reeves and all of these guys, they don't have to be, they can be what they are, which are rotation role-playing guys rather than bona fide starters that we need to step up and play big night in and night out, right? If Walker doesn't have, if Walker has a game like last night, it's not a big deal because we have, Buddy Hield, Myles Turner, and a Josh Richardson, or if you look at it the other way where Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly's not knocking down his shots that night. It's okay because we have guys, Richardson, Buddy, and Myles Turner, right? We have starting caliber players. That's what we lack right now, is just starting talent. We don't have starting talent. We have guys that we would be one of the deepest teams in the league if we get 3 or 4 guys that can come in and contribute. Because now guys like Troy Brown, if he goes 4 or 5, he's shooting 4 or 5 off the bench. If Walker gives you 15, he's giving you 15 off the bench. Austin Reeves is our only guy shooting 40% on the team from 3. If he can give you 40% off the bench, that's better, right? And now you have all these guys playing their natural roles. They also don't have the pressure on them to deliver. Kendrick Nunn, he's looking at it as I got to be the 3rd best player. I got to come out. I got to ball. But now if he doesn't have to, there's not that urgency of him having to be a 20-point a game night. It just takes away a ton of pressure. If we could get like, have different lineups. Like, even like the starting five on the screen. I'm not saying that this is who they have to go with, but even something like this, like if this is our starting five, I think this is a better starting five than what we got right now, or if you start Buddy Hield or play LeBron at the one, right? I mean, I'm not against the Buddy Hield and Myles Turner. I just don't think it makes us what people think it's going to make us. It might. I could be completely wrong. Maybe it does make us a legit contender, but I don't think it does. And there's a lot of concerns. Myles Turner staying healthy, right? If he can't stay healthy, what do? We already have Anthony Davis who can't play 5 games this season. And if Myles Turner can't play 5 games this season, then it's like now you have both of them out, and it's just like now we're in trouble again. Like now we're relying on Buddy Hield to shoot, 50% from 3 on 40 attempts. Like it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Like we definitely need a center. We definitely need size. And I think Myles Turner helps with that. We definitely need shooting, which I think Buddy Hield helps with that. Myles Turner and Buddy Hield, I definitely think help with what we need. I definitely think it makes us better. I just don't think it's the home run play that many people believe it is. And if it's not, we're stuck. We have no cap space next season because we got Buddy Hield, right? And we have to pay Myles Turner what he wants, which is $20+ million a year. So now we have to pay Myles Turner what he wants, and on top of paying Myles Turner what he wants, which I don't think he's a $20 million a year guy, but too bad, too late. We can't let him walk. If it doesn't work out, we have no salary space. We have no assets to move and trade to unload these guys. We're stuck with this team for basically the next 2 to 4 years. And so that's my concern. It's better to have one bad season than several, is all my point. The grass isn't always greener. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do they need to do this deal? Do they not need to do this deal? I really think, again, if we lose on Sunday, I think we get a trade like Monday or Tuesday. I really do. But do you feel the same way? Let me know. Good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between, down in the comment section below.